139 to 117 in a flurry of 3-point shots, near historic. I think the Bucks made 26. The record's 29. Man, there were times when we could get it in that second half to within like 12, 13, but then another three-pointer, and you look up and we lose by 20, 22. Didn't feel good. The first half was close. And what was it? I don't know the difference there, but we really let it go in the second there. Not defending the three-point line.
That's an issue.
It was tough.
Yep.
I mean, the game plan, we watched just a moment of Jamal Mosley talking in the presser. It seems like the plan was to clog the paint, and I think that is kind of the way you do have to beat the Bucks. You can't give up the paint to Giannis, but when they're shooting like that, you can see the championship pedigree coming through. You've got Giannis now surrounded with guys like Jay Crowder, Brook Lopez, who's always been a good shooter. Joe Ingles is now healthy and playing. And you got guys like A.J. Brown, no, not the Bengals wide receiver, a guy from Iowa making threes, Pat Connaughton, kid from Boston. You hate to see that. They had 9 guys, I think, that made 3-point shots tonight.
Yeah, as you said, points in the paint, we won 56-38, which seems like that was the game plan.
That's great.
When you saw that wasn't really doing it, it's okay to change the game plan. You know, you can make inter-game moves. And I think if I had one criticism of Mosley this year, it's been whatever they do at halftime to prepare for the third quarter is not good. Where our third quarters have been bad all year, that's where
for the most
decent
part,
games get away from us, or vice versa. And if we have a solid third, then we can win that game, or even a break even.
Yeah.
But more times than not, that's where things fall off for us, and we don't seem to make adjustments to stop what the other team's doing enough. And whatever we threw at the Bucks tonight wasn't really working.
We went to zone.
But like I said to you, a lot of these threes the Bucks were making, it's not like they were guarded.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a stat for like guarded shots, unguarded shots.
Yep.
Most of the ones they were making tonight were wide open. Now, part of that is because of their ability to swing the ball around, and when everyone's a threat, you have to respect everyone. So that's to their credit.
Yeah.
The Bucks are a championship-worthy team. I think they're the best team in the NBA right now. I think they're ready to win it. So we're not on that level. We're fighting to get in the playoffs. That's, 10-9. You know what I mean? They're one.
We ate our humble pie tonight.
Yeah.
Certainly. And their Bucks are what? Plus 440, I think we said, odds. So they're the second highest odds to win the chip right now. So I like plus 440 for them. Feels good looking at this team without Chris Middleton. Drew Holiday's playing great. You said it on the stream. And shout out to everyone who came, all the second cousins who came to the live stream. Special shout out to Ty and Andy jumping in for the super chats. But yeah, very underrated player in Drew Holiday. Plays tremendous defense.
Yeah.
He was one of the only guys that wasn't lights out from beyond the arc. He was 1 of 7.
He's not a big 3-point
He was
shooter.
10 of 18 from the field. So he still had a really damn good game. 23 points, 9 assists. I mean, he really makes it go. Giannis put up like a quiet 31. The quietest 31 I ever seen.
Yep. Steady. Did what he does to do. The Magic actually had the lead in the second quarter. Don't be fooled.
That's true.
This game for the first half, we were kind of shooting it with them.
Yeah.
And scoring at a high clip. But those aren't games that work too hard. That's not the kind of games we win. You've said it in past wrap-ups. Yep. If the team we're playing doesn't shoot the 3 ball well, we can win that game.
Yeah.
Well, that was opposite today. And normally we kind of hang our hat on being able to play defense and get some turnovers and win the game that way. And it seemed like we could not stop the Bucks at all. Mm-hmm. The only time that the Bucks really stopped is when they stopped themselves. And that's where the Buck stops. There.
Nice, Bish. Nice. and there were a bunch of moments too where it was almost a great defensive play. There was a really nice deflection. You thought maybe Bowl or Jalen was now going to have an open runaway. And no, he didn't get it. And, that's a 3-point shot from Pat Connaughton. Or that's a 3. So there was those moments that were right on the cusp. And when a team is hot like the Bucks, and when a team is just kind of middling, fighting to get in the play-in, fighting for something, maybe in the lottery, like us, they go the Bucks' way.
I mean, our bench played pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
But their bench was so solid.
Yep.
Tons of guys that you can rely on for shooting threes. Just a plethora of white boys ready to fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stacked roster. So I mean, they're
deep.
That's why they've won 16 games in a row now.
Yep.
And this trend may continue for a while. And like I said, they didn't even have Chris Middleton.
We'll see. They're going to be a juggernaut when he comes back, man. Let's talk about the bench play. Cole Anthony was our highest scorer tonight, 28 points, 10 of 16, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. He was aggressive early.
7 rebounds.
Oh, yes.
Count them.
Are you okay with that, little man, getting down there?
I hate it when somebody does it against our team, but I know Cole loves to rebound,
yes.
so I'm cool with him getting them because I love Cole. But yeah, when little men rebound, makes you mad.
Grinds my gears.
I believe we're the same height, actually, in real life.
Yeah.
By the
way. Yeah, Cole's actually a pretty big dude. Yeah, so, I mean, he played a great game. And when when I look at the stat line and Cole Anthony has 28 points and we won the paint like we did, man, we had a good chance to win that. Yeah, I would think we either won that game or it was close. Not that we got blown out by 22 points.
Mm-hmm.
Markelle Fultz, 21 points, 9 of 14. He had a really good game. He had a solid game, 7 boards, still with only 5 assists, but I guess it requires others to make those shots for those assists to count. Franz with 18, I'm sorry, and now is the time where I'm going to say Franz Wagner, only 11 shots. Come on. Like, the man was on fire early. He had 12 points in the first half. Can we feed the man the rock a little bit more? Can we get him cooking? You've talked about this frustration too, Pish. When someone's hot, let's identify those guys. Let's get some more minutes for Cole. Let's get some more minutes for Franz. I mean, Cole did play 33 minutes to Mosley's credit.
Yeah.
He did get a lot of burn, but Franz played 30. So it's like, let's get Franz more touches when he's playing really well. And that didn't happen. He ends with 18 points of 5 of 11. So that's disappointing to me because of how well Franz started. It looked like he was maybe on his way to another 30-point game against the Bucks and just kind of ended with that 18.
I mean,
with another
it just seems like our offense is really too key on being balanced, right?
Yeah.
That's our thing. I feel like I see these lines a lot. I'll use tonight's as an example. And just using the base 4, our starting 4, Paulo 4 of 13, Wendell 6 of 13, Markelle 9 of 14, Franz 5 of 11. So he's really only 3 behind those other guys, but it's so spread out, right? Like a lot of these other teams, you'd have 2 star guys getting 20 shots a game,
right? And
then draw back a couple from the other dudes. But it seems like we almost have a play set that works to make sure everyone eats,
which is
in
nice.
The 14-15 range, which can work.
Yeah.
Right. But like, we kind of want to see if Paulo and Franz are going to hit that next level
star
and be able to hit that star category going forward. And this attack may not always work, especially if we're going to try to bring in another piece that would essentially take the Gary Harris spot in the lineup that can produce it all, right? Because imagine if you have a 5th guy in that lineup taking an additional 10 shots.
Yeah, well,
tonight Gary only took 4.
Right.
So, like, and if you have another guy in there who wants to get at least 10, there's not enough shots to go around. So at some point, you have to decide who is the face of your team or what your identity is, instead of it just being, I need to make sure I get 15 from every guy on the team, because that's not going to work to win an NBA championship. It is a nice thought process, right? Because every one of the Bucks probably had 15 points tonight.
Yeah.
But
it can work like that.
In the clutch,
right?
They know who to go to. They're going to Giannis.
Yes.
They will go to Drew Holiday for a key bucket. Middleton didn't play today, so they wouldn't obviously go to Chris Money Middleton, but otherwise you would. They have those guys that they can go to in the clutch, and look, they're going to shoot the ball more than the other dudes. And then on a day like today where everyone's eating, they just sit back and be like, yeah, Joe Ingles, throw some threes up. Pat Connaughton, get it in. Like, that's a nice luxury to have. We're not there.
Yeah.
So
I think
that team effort seems like a good idea in theory, but in the NBA, you got to have some star power. You got to have those guys rise up that make other teams adjust to you. And instead, it seems like we're always trying to adjust to them, but not well.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have other teams have to prepare for us.
I really do enjoy our team because it is a balanced attack and everyone's kind of eating. But, if a couple guys have an off game, this kind of happens. And to your point about development, and are Franz and Paulo going to be guys that are capable of taking a team to a championship level? Them getting, 14, 13 shots? Like, that's not enough.
So even if
Franz had 11 shots, I'm sorry. So at a certain point during this season, I know we push for play-in. Both you and I, we did a high five on, I think, episode 38. Let's get the play-in. At a certain point, it's becoming a little unrealistic. And what do I want more? Do I want to still have this kind of pipe dream of the play-in? Or do I want Franz taking 20 shots in a game just to see? Do I want to make sure Paulo gets 20 shots just to see?
Right.
And see if those guys can drop a 35-point game, drop a 40-point game, and take a next step. Because if any game was going to have it, going into this, Franz was cooking. Get it to Franz. But then just 11 shots. Like, that is just frustrating to me.
Yeah, because even if you shoot a decent percentage with only 11 to 14 shots a game, you're not getting the numbers there or the flow or the other team has to prepare to guard this guy, or maybe we should double this guy because he's that nice. Use Cole as an example. He shot 16 shots tonight. That's not what that starter shot, but he made 10. So tonight, because he was on fire, he produces 28 points. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to see Franz taking 16 shots.
Yep. If Cole's taking 16 shots, I want to see Franz taking 16 shots. And it's also the type of player that Franz Wagner is. He's an unselfish guy.
Sure.
He's, not necessarily always looking for himself to score. He's a smart player. But, look, we want him to develop and to become a star. So I'm just unhappy with that. And, with the Bucks almost breaking a 3-point record in the NBA, it's just tough to
this
to
is
win
really
that game.
on the defense tonight. They just didn't really come to play well. The rotations sucked. We could have used J.I. minutes tonight in a game where we really needed defense.
I'm sorry, rotations meaning the substitutions or the rotating on defense?
Rotating on defense.
Got it.
Just is garbage. There was too many guys getting sucked into the paint.
Yeah.
Which it made it seem like that's what they wanted, but no. After they hit their 20th three, maybe change it up. This ain't working today.
Yeah.
5 guys around the 3-point line. Let them dunk. Something.
I feel you. That's why the Bucks are such a dangerous team, because you've got to stop Giannis, but then when you try to clog the paint, this happens.
Yep.
This happens.
I don't have a clogged paint joke, but insert your own there.
Well, we did a live stream. Shout out to everyone who came through for that, where we had an amazing time down in Orlando for Court Cousins night. Make sure you check out episode 40 coming up very soon with all of our Orlando takes on there. If you haven't already, please subscribe. The Second Cousin community is growing, and we need you, ladies and gentlemen, in there. If you've got a little extra clink in your pocket, head on over to the Patreon. We've got a goal that we're very close to, and when we get that goal, we're going to be giving away 2 jerseys a month, or 2 giveaways a month. We're not sure if it's 2 jerseys. We're going to give away more stuff, all right? And we got the Discord up and running. We're always on the Patreon asking patrons for input for the show. We got some input for episode 40 already on the thread on the Patreon. So it's a way to get a little bit closer to the show, to be involved, and it really helps us to meet some goals. So, let's see if the Magic meet the goal of the plan. It's looking less and less with every game that goes by.
Well,
here.
we're doing about 50-50 stuff, and I think we need to be more of a 70-30, maybe 60-40 at least to get there. So at some point, you got to stop going win-loss, and put together a couple wins. This is maybe not the stretch for that because of the Bucks appearing
twice.
But Charlotte game should be
a very
winnable game.
We got to get it, yeah.
I don't think you're going to see these guys stop hustling for it until it's officially off the table.
For sure.
Even then, maybe not.
And so, isn't this what we would have wanted? This is all we really asked for at the beginning of the season, right? We wanted
meaningful games at the end.
And that's where we are.
Yep.
And we're already playing with house money. I think we're at 25 wins or 26. So 26 wins. If you got the line early like me, 25.5, we've already beat Vegas. I think a lot of people got it at 26.5. Hopefully that comes on Friday.
Still good.
But again, house money. This is what we wanted. We wanted competitive basketball.
Yep.
Here in March, and we've got it, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight was a tough one, but shake it off. And next time, make sure you come through the stream, because it wasn't losing, I wasn't that upset, Pish, because I was hanging out with second cousins.
Yeah, we were having a good time in the chat talking about various things.
Yeah. Oh.
This guy would always try to make
Various
it go
things.
somewhere naughty.
Yes.
But it was a good time. And yeah, it was great to be able to meet some people in Orlando. Excited for episode 40 to do our complete Orlando wrap up. It was nice to be able to talk Orlando Magic basketball face to face with someone who wasn't Kyle. No offense.
Hey,
I'm sure you also enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. Well, let us know how you felt about this game. What are you thinking about playing end of season stuff? And get on over to the Patreon. Come on, let's do it. Peace out, everybody.
Thanks for coming.